Cool. Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and start. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to NEWSBEAT Nightly. Some interesting stocks here today. Some interesting trades, and the market still just has a lack of good ideas. Yeah, Peter's around. He's focusing in on his trading. He's always in the room. He's just in heavy focus mode, and there's not a lot going on, so he hasn't been throwing out a lot of ideas due to the lack of them in existence. So okay. So first of all, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go ahead and do this twice. I'm gonna go ahead and do it twice. Just give me 1 second. So, okay. Cool. All right. So, I mean, there were a few names today that we were watching. I just wanted to go over a couple of them. So, one of the names I caught with a very tight risk was Watt. WATT. And what I said today is wait for the 5 minute to come in and then go long. So when the stock was chilling around $16 and change, I said, wait for a pullback to 1539. That was my level. We actually bottomed at 1538. We bounced to 1576. Came right back in, hit 1530. Broke my level by a total of 9 cents. And then, as I told you guys, when we were trading up by 1540, 1550, 1560, I said, guys, this might be the day low. We might have nailed the day low. There was a good chance. It didn't look. I mean, the stock went all the way up to 1660. I sold my shares. I made a couple G's. Nothing major. And then the stock pulled down to 1545. Never broke our day low, and then just rallied gorgeously all the way up towards $24. So just names like that, I look back and I ask myself, okay, considering we were all buying this stock at the very day lows using my form of analysis of the exponential 8 and the 5 minute, should have I been able to hold it longer? And I think the simple answer is no. Because, I mean, in all honesty, if I'm buying a stock in the 1540s, let's say at a 1544 average price on WATT for a few thousand shares, and the stock rallies, and then I put in my stop at 1529. That was after we bottomed at 1530. Obviously, the day low stayed at 1530, so we never got stopped out. And then the stock ran to 1660. So on a day like today, when I'm in the market and I'm buying something in the 1540s, you have a few thousand shares in the stock, you're looking to break $16 and it breaks out, I don't think it was a bad idea to sell. Now, what I could have done in that situation is after I sold, I could have started buying my calls earlier. So I think I sold pretty damn well, despite the fact that I probably could have held stubbornly and made like $30,000, considering if I held, which I didn't. But what we could have done is, because there were options, if there were no options available, I'd just be like, whatever, can't do anything. And I did find out the distance, by the way. So if you guys are unaware of what happened today in WATT, they're sending RF radio waves. I don't want to get into the science of it, to charge cell phones from a distance. Now, I pointed out this morning, I highlighted this as one of the three names we're watching. I was very concerned about the potential health risks, because generally they don't do assessment of health risks on these things. So I found out that it's 3 feet away, which actually made me feel a little bit better, because it's charging your phone from 3 feet away, as opposed to, Robert asked the question earlier. He was like, is this, inches, feet, yards? Like, he wanted to know how far this thing went. But these RF radio waves were approved for 3 feet in distance. Drop your phone within that 3 feet radius and get the hell out of there. Nonetheless, this is potentially huge because if it's wireless charging, you're imagine how popular this will be in an airport, where you go in the airport and there's a bunch of plugs, there's a bunch of electric outlets for people to plug in things to charge things. Imagine just a station where it's just, you sit in your seat and your phone is charging. Now, again, that's not something I would be doing, because I'm very skeptical, rightfully skeptical, about the potential hazards over these things. But we're gonna do little a little bit of a thanks here today for all the people who have helped and all the people who have helped. The room, the people who don't get the thanks, generally speaking, and I wanted to point out these people. So first and foremost, I'm going to just go through the plan, and then I'm going to show you guys something you should probably support. And if you want to copy the trades I'm watching, my game plan for tomorrow, it's WATT and Real Good Solar. I took overnight positions in both. Now, you guys on YouTube might be watching and say, wow, you took overnight positions in both. How would have I gotten the heads up? I'm working a job. Well, guess what? Starting next year, sounds far away, it's a week away. Starting next year, you guys are going to have access to a unique one-of-a-kind service that's going to be sending out trades that I open with conviction levels. So both these conviction levels it's going to be on a 1 to 5 scale, 5 being very high conviction, 1 being the lowest conviction, and everything in between being everything in between. And what you'll do is you'll get like a text message saying, long WATT, these calls or these shares, long at this price for an overnight. And you're going to get information like that. Then the next day, you're going to get the information sold. These shares or these options at this price. Sometimes I'll hold it longer, sometimes I won't. But what it's going to do is it's going to allow me to act as your professional money manager in a legal sense. Like, obviously, I'm not a money manager, and I don't have the right licenses, whether or not you believe in my qualifications or not as a money manager. But what we're going to do is we're going to change the way Wall Street works. So we're going to allow people to have a professional trader be your assistant. And because you'll be plugging in your trades yourself, it makes it A, legal for me to disclose what I'm doing, and B, there's no fees. I'm not charging you 5%. I'm not charging you 8%, 3%, 2%, 10%, 25%. You're getting charged no fees. Now, granted, you have to pay for the service, and it's going to be a very modest price point. It's going to be a very modest price point, and the goal of this is to enable people to take any of the trading accounts they have, or 401ks or IRAs, and generate some capital and generate some alpha, and basically put your money to work with very low risk trades. A lot of them, are going to be lower conviction. You might want to ignore all of them. And then I'm going to come to you with like a stitch fix, for example, and I'm going to go into detail, and you're going to receive a text message on a stitch fix, and granted, I didn't send out this text because the service is unavailable, but this is what it's going to look like. Stitch fix at $15, high conviction, loading the boat, $30 swing target, conviction level 5. And you're going to get ideas like that. And we had so many positive results, like, I don't know, there was over 20 emails, like over a whole Gmail page of people, who capitalized on this Stitch Fix page. I told you one woman, one lady, God, I just want to read this to you, because if you want to know why I do this, it's because of things like this. I'm gonna show you an example of somebody. Wait, where? I mean, there's so many of them. Which one do I want to show you? So let's see. One second, just pulling it up now. All right. Just want to show it to you, and all right. So here's a woman. Okay, here's a woman, and she's like, just to show you, here it is. If it's hard, I'll read it in case it's hard to read. She basically says, "Hi, Mark. I found your videos, and we get. I've gotten over 20 of these emails. I found your YouTube videos a few weeks ago and did get in on the Stitch Fix January 22 and a half calls. Out today when it hit $30. As a gift, I bought new basketball uniforms for my daughter's school, girls JV and varsity teams. So thank you so much for the great company and trade. I love the giving back thoughts and comment you make. I am in total agreement. Want to sign up for your service, but I'm not clear on which service to sign up for. Blah, 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 blah. Thanks again and Happy New Year." When people like that take these trades and they make a lot of money to the point where they're giving back to the community, even if it's just buying, the woman bought her daughter's JV and varsity team jerseys for their entire school. I mean, it hits you in a place where I just feel so blessed that I'm enabling people to do things like this. And I've gotten dozens of these emails, over 25 of them in the past day. I mean, it's just such a blessing. I'm at a loss for words. I'm stuttering. I don't even know how to say it. I'm just so blessed and honored that, I get emails like this, and that's what I live for. And what I am going to do for you is when we have high conviction trades like Stitch Fix, you're going to be in earlier. You'll get the information earlier than listening to it tonight. You'll get the information very far in advance because you'll be knowing exactly when and where I buy it. Sometimes you'll punch it up, you'll find out that the stock is at a lower price than where I bought it. Sometimes it'll be a higher price. Sometimes it'll be the same price. But pretty much within seconds of me buying something, you're going to get a text alert and or an email alert, or both if you wish, for a very small fee. The fee is much smaller for members of the room, as I tried to design it that way, and the fees are very low but slightly higher for people who are out of the room. I think you guys will benefit the most from it because people outside the room, you could be working whatever job, you'll get a text message saying, okay, buying this at this price right here. It'll basically help you act. It'll basically enable me to act as a quote-unquote professional money manager for you. And you don't have to pay me any fees. I mean, you have to pay for the service, but it's nominal, extremely nominal. So I'm going to be introducing that. I'm going to be doing a ton of videos, a ton of Facebook Live videos. I'm going to bring you guys much better content than I'm bringing you even like here on a broadcast like this. I'm going to be using my webcam. I'm going to be putting out, very professional videos. And we're going to talk about, news and so many great things. So, again, I'm very excited about the new year. So I did want to, and I'm going to do this twice. I'm going to do it today and tomorrow. But I received a photograph from not one of, but by far the most talented photographer I've ever met in my entire life. And I know that a lot of you guys have already ordered some of his stuff, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to promote someone right here from our room. I'm going to promote David Wiley. He's the guy who posts every single trade we do. And what he does is he sells his photography on that website. I'll post it in chat as well. But for you guys on YouTube, so what I'm encouraging you guys to do is go there and buy as many photos as you can. Just buy them. This is our way of saying thanks to Dave, who, with no salary whatsoever, we don't pay Dave a penny, volunteered to post. Every time I enter an order, he's the dude typing in chat saying we're buying it here. I own one of his photos. It's phenomenal. And yes, I know the year's coming to an end. That's why I'm talking about this. But this is very important. It's very important to give back to those who help us. So here's some of his photographs. And this is the one I bought. And when I bought this, everyone around me thought this was a painting. I mean, look at this photograph here. That's a real photograph. He didn't paint that, which, if he did, was phenomenal as well. That's a photograph. And it's by far my favorite photograph that I own. By far. Nothing comes close. It is artistic and it is beautiful. And you could select a size. You could get very large size. It is so professionally done. The dude is so amazingly talented. He's taken, I mean, I have my best friend is a photographer. David is a better photographer than him. I don't say that lightly. Like, if you want to know, like, I wouldn't consider myself an artist, but I do appreciate good work. And I want you guys to basically go to his website. I'm straight up promoting him. I am straight up promoting him. By far the best photographer in the world. And he unselfishly has been dedicating his time to posting all our trades. And how many thousands of trades has Dave posted? If you paid David 1 cent for the thousands of trades he posted, you'd probably owe him like $20-30. So with that being said, you appreciate his services. I want you guys to go ahead and do something solid right now. Clean him out. Clean out his inventory. Just clean him out. It's the greatest gifts that you could give. And I know Christmas is over, and I probably should have done this prior to Christmas. But there's something to be said about the good energy around you. And hanging up photos, beautiful photos, is one of the things that are very important for trading. The smells around you, the air around you, the photos around you. Just some of the most fun. I mean, look at this thing. It looks almost fake. It looks so nice. I love the up and down one. My wife's favorite one. Where's my wife's favorite one? Is the one with the 2 chairs. I just want to pull that one up. So let's see. My wife. This one I'm in love with. This one I'm in love with. I'm probably going to. And this one I'm in love with. Look at that. He took a picture of an Istanbul tram. Look how ghetto that thing is compared to anything we have in America. It's like people just jumping onto this thing. Is it going to make it? Is it going to make it another 10 feet? You don't know. Hold on 1 second. Here it is. This is my wife's favorite one. She likes this one the most, the Jordan Pond at Acadia National Park out in Maine. Remember when Dave went to Maine? It's one of the pictures he snapped there. I think this Lily Pond one is just breathtaking. And surrounding yourself with beautiful photography, they come really nice. I mean, you literally can do them from, from like box to wall. You don't need to like frame it, or you don't need to do anything special. You could just literally like stick it on the wall. This is by far my favorite one. It's so beautiful it looks fake. I mean, by fake, I mean it looks like somebody painted it, like a professional artist. It just doesn't look real. It is just one of the. It's just incredibly, incredibly gorgeous. So go to his website. Let's take care of the guy who spent a year posting our traits for us in the room. He's a full-time photographer and trader, and for $20, you're not gonna get a better deal than that anywhere. Free shipping. So go ahead, clean out his inventory. Just buy as many things as you possibly can, and show Dave a huge thank you. And I want to personally thank you too, for just all the phenomenal work you've done for us. So thank you. If you wish to visit him, please, you can hit print screen right now. It's etsy.com/shop, and his name on there is Naked Eye Imagery. And look, he even did the. And he travels all around the world. He was in St. Petersburg, Russia. Look at that. He took a picture in the cathedral. I mean, is that just. Yeah, wow. I mean, wow. I have to. I could look at this thing for hours. I was thinking about that one too. And the funny thing is, the name of this one is Thinking. Okay, so with that being said, if you wish to screenshot, my plays, whoa, you could go ahead and hit print screen now. I know this side is a little small. I just want to do it so. Um, Oh, yeah, it's us who appreciate it. I mean, to get photography like that at those prices, I mean, it's like we're robbing you. I mean, this isn't a little kid at a lemonade stand in which we're saying, go buy that kid's lemonade. I mean, we're talking like I want to decorate my house with some of this art, and there are a few photos in which I am just absolutely in love with. My friend who's a photographer, he wants to know what kind of camera you use. And, people who can travel the world and catch these images for us. I mean, these are images snapped in a way in which, will never. I mean, they're unique in every sense of the way. I mean, you're not going to see other photos like that, so definitely take advantage. So that being said, I'm watching Real Good Solar. We have an overnight. I'm watching WATT. We have an overnight. And if there's any questions, any analysis I can offer you guys, now would be the time to ask. Also, if you have any questions from YouTube, you can email me, mark.melnick@t3live.com. I like this one. I love the names of them too. Rings of Time. Beautiful names. Look at that one. Rusty Gears. How awesome is that? Look at this snap of the Eiffel Tower. I mean, it literally looks like he was standing underneath the Eiffel Tower, looked straight up, and alright, I'll look at this thing all night. My wife will think I'm ignoring her. Okay, so back to trading. Sorry about that. Got a little excited there. I think I need to. And oh, by the way, so I was very happy because I was a little upset that some of the sizes were like too small in these photos, and then I realized you could actually change your size and make it larger. If you're putting it on the wall, depending on the size of your room, I would just go with the largest size. So that was a really cool blessing as well. All right, so let's get into your questions here. Let's see. And we have to always remember we're going to be doing a lot of charity work as well, but it's also very important to take care of the people around us that make everything work. I mean, I can't tell you how important that is. And that's not charity. That's doing yourself a favor. I mean, I have a picture right now that Dave sent me, and I'm putting it right on top of my wall, right in my trading room, right in front of my face, because it's so beautiful. It gets your mind in a happier place. And when you're trading, whether you had and I'm telling you from a psychological standpoint, take it from me. I'm not a psychologist, but I have psychologically helped thousands of traders, okay? I don't believe a college degree is the qualification somebody needs to do something effectively, all right? I dropped out of college. I didn't graduate in finance. You know, it doesn't mean I can't day trade. It doesn't mean I know nothing about companies. Doesn't mean the guy from Harvard Business School who graduated in finance knows, you know, more than we do. I mean, just keep that in mind. So, from a psychological standpoint, one of the things I used to do is I used to ask somebody, what is a very calming thing for you? What is a very common thing? And there was this, I'm going to tell you a story that happened 2010, maybe 7.5 years ago, back in 2010. And there was a dude who was a trader. He was getting divorced from his wife at the time. And his trading just went on a slide down in the process of divorce. Talk to the guy, he'd be like, you know, he would drop expletive words that effing B blah is gonna take me for everything. He took his trading account, he withdrew all the money, he put it in his like brother's name. His brother opened up the account because he was afraid his wife was gonna take his trading account. I mean, this was getting like seriously emotional. And the guy was on a slide. So the guy was a successful trader. He was making like 80, 90 a year. You know, whatever. I mean, it's a great salary, 80, 90 a year. And he started losing money. And in the first, couple months, while this whole thing was happening, he was down like 50, 60 grand. And he was afraid he was going to blow up. And he literally came to me. He wanted to pay me through T3. I said, no, I'm going to do this for free. So I was like, okay. So I was like, when you're trading, what's going on? So I sat next to him one day. I invited him over to I was trading in T3, so they literally had like extra computer setups around me if I was doing a class, and I was in the middle of the floor, and they would come, and I sat him next to me, and I said, I'm going to take a day off of trading. And I sat next to him, and I was just watching him, and I'm like, what are you thinking right now? I think I need to make that money back, but if I make it anyway, what's the big deal? My wife will find it. Like that's how he's thinking. Extremely toxic. I'm not taking his side. I didn't get in between, who's right or wrong. Believe me, I stayed 20 feet away from that. But what was happening was his mind was going to a foul place. So I'm trying to pick his mind here, and I'm like, what are your hobbies? What do you enjoy doing? What do you enjoy doing? He enjoyed fly fishing. I didn't know what it was at the time. I was like, what is fly fishing? He explained it to me. I'm like, okay, where do you like to fly fish? And he's like, he mentioned the lake or whatever, and it was in upstate New York. So I said, I'm going to go with you. He's like, when? I'm like, right now. Middle of the trading day? Yeah. We jumped in my car. We drove to upstate New York. Place called Andes. It's a couple hours from the Catskill Mountains. And I drove over to a lake with my best friend at the time and him, three of us, who was also a professional photographer, ironically. And I said, okay, show me where you fish. And he showed me the lake. And we started just hitting up pictures. It was in the summer. It was beautiful. My best friend was taking pictures of the entire lake, the trees, the lake, the scenery, this. Took like 30 pictures, 40 pictures, a bunch of them. And we sat down with him, and I'm like, which ones are your favorite? And he chose like 4 or 5 of them. And then what I did is I told him, go to a professional studio, get them blown up. Blow up the pictures big. And surround yourself with them. And I said, every time you think of your wife, ex-wife to be, I want you to look at these pictures. completely turned his life around as a trader. I mean, he ended up getting divorced, and um, he ended moving back to Russia afterwards, but that's a whole nother story. His trading picked up again. His trading picked up again, and he started making money. So never underestimate the psychology of surrounding yourself with happy moments. I mean, could you imagine? Let me put it this way: if you were sitting at your, and this is going to help you as a trader, so that's why I'm going off on this right now. If you were sitting on in front of your screen as a trader, and you had like scenes from horror movies, like bloody, gory scenes on pictures all around you, do you think that would have a negative effect on your trading? Of course it would. Of course it would. The same thing holds true when you put positive things around you. If negative pictures can have a negative effect on you, positive, happier pictures can have a happy effect on you. Now, to each their own when it comes to these things. When I see that the picture of Porto, Portugal, I mean, I have a huge smile on my face. It's just beautiful. So I'm putting that up right in front of my face right now, and that's how photography can literally, or pictures in this example, can really have a positive impact on your trading. Don't underestimate having an edge in every way around you. Like my wallpaper on my front screen is a picture of my son because he makes me happy. You need to. I don't care what makes you happy. Maybe it's a strip club. Whatever makes you happy, you should be surrounding yourself with those things. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. So, just wanted to throw that out to you guys. Okay. What's my target on what? What target do I have? I don't really have a target. It's just one of those things where I'm going to sell it for a profit or a loss tomorrow. It was as perfect as you'll get to a bottom call. We called 1539. I mean, it bottomed out at 1530. I sold it after it bounced like 90 cents. But yeah, I don't really have a target on this one. I will say this though. Is it? Oh, it's at all-time highs. Yeah, there's no level. It's all-time highs. There's no level here that I could give you. Ravi, thoughts on Macy's long? Looks okay. Best place tomorrow for me, $24.25. Okay. Trading Apple. So Apple, I was kind of disappointed in Apple today. I don't think, I mean, it was kind of weird. So the Qs were going up, and I took a few thousand Apple at basically right around here. I paid like 10, like 9 or 10 cents. I don't remember, 170.09 or 170.10 right here. And the stock bounced up to 170.31, fell down, bounced up, fell down. It just seemed like it had a lot of trouble moving today. I do like how you're still holding over the simple 50. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to it'll be very interesting to see how it moves tomorrow. What are my thoughts on financials for 2018? Like banks, um, that should be very. I'm not sure if I will or will not write about it in the report. I have no opinion currently on these banks. My thoughts on SGH semi. I told you it was bullish. I think you asked me last week. I continue to think it looks bullish here, and maybe we get some follow through today's high. You probably digest tomorrow, and then maybe you break out the next day. That would seem more logical. Do I think it could get to the high 40s? Maybe. It's possible. IZEA, bullish doji, beautiful. Does it break out higher? Probably. I like what you're watching here. Long bias. I mean, I don't have enough of a digestive wedge to give you a good support level. The best I could do right now, which I don't like that much, is $3.91. But if you start breaking through is it 473? Let me give you as accurate a level as possible. Pretty much tomorrow, if you start going through $4.59, you could break out on IZEA. And Toll Brothers for a short. Must remain below 48.24 if you're going to want to short that one, in my technical opinion. Overstock. Looks like a rising wedge. Bullish overall, but I think it breaks down first. You're offering me free puts or calls right here? I'm taking the puts. CMG. Fools had their issues. Again, people just getting sick. I'm so disgusted with this company. At least they changed their management, right? Looks bearish to me. Potential short level tomorrow, if it could get there, of course. $302.90. Alright, that's a great question. Mark, you'd like to know what direction you see the market headed during the first quarter. Higher. If by first quarter you mean January, February, March, higher. But the thing is, I think we could drop in March, April, May. So I think a better, easier question. I'm going to release my report, and it's going to go into huge detail on all of this, guys. So you guys are going to get my 2018 report. I think we're going to close significantly lower than where we opened by the end of 2018. I'm predicting a bear market. But not before we explode higher. Kind of weird, right? I'll explain so much more details. So I think the first quarter is kind of hard. I would like to say the first half. Because everybody I speak to thinks we're dropping in the first quarter. Everyone's like, all right, we're going to sell off in the first quarter of the year. What's a sell-off? If the Qs go to $152, is that a sell-off for you? Do you consider that a sell-off if the Qs drop to 152? I don't. We'll see. It's going to be interesting, and I'll be sharing, of course, my report. But Overstock, yeah, covered my thoughts there. Square, break $34. At this point, you don't actually need to break $34. You need to hit $34.11 for support on Square. JD, bullish. Beautiful digestive falling wedge. Potential breakout tomorrow. 42.44. Very bullish. Arista Networks. High end of the range. Resistance tomorrow. Key level to break out from. $243.22. Weight Watchers. A little bullish digestive pattern here. Very bullish. Support tomorrow. 48.18. Breakout level. 49.35. Exactly where it closed. If you could hang above 49.35, you could break out the continuation pattern. McDonald's. Breaking out here today. Looks okay. Bullish. Maybe we get above today's high tomorrow. Not crazy about the setup. I like your Weight Watchers one a lot more. ExxonMobil, bullish. 83.34 is where I'd buy tomorrow. It's like the Portuguese is where's Waldo exactly. Do I think Sprouts Farmers Market? No. I don't. I don't think it needs a pullback. It might pull back. I mean, it had a rising wedge. It was bullish and it had a rising wedge and resolved bearishly. Still bullish overall. GS double top, cup and handle breakout. Okay, yes, sort of a double top there. I see what you're watching. I wouldn't use this bullishly or bearishly. I think it's just going to move with the sector. Neutral on Goldman as a result. PIRS. Alright, so this was one of the name on our game plan. This is what we call a bullish doji. I continue to remain bullish on this one. And it looks fine. It's like a bullish digestive pattern. Am I planning on selling what soon after the open if it's up? I haven't decided yet. I mean, what do I mean by that? We have to see what happens with the analyst tomorrow. What are the odds that an analyst is going to come out and put a $30 target on it? How many analysts are going to upgrade this company? That's the question I have. Is the Intel trigger? Absolutely, because it never hit in real time. It hit it in the pre-market that day, if you remember, and it shot up in the pre-market. You'll still have the algorithmic volume there because it never did it recently in the open market. I think this is a buy point for Intel. I think I said that a couple days ago. I still feel that way. This is a very bullish formation in Intel. And it's still valid. Mike, APTI. Tried to break out today. Pulled in dramatically. Yikes. Okay. Wow. I mean, I'm not exactly the one chasing it here. I do see that it got some interesting prints after hours, a lot higher. Let's see if it could break 24.96 tomorrow. I think it depends how does one define a bear market? Everybody has their own definition of a bear market. So I guess what is the definition of a bear market according to Investopedia? All right, downturn of 20% or more from a peak in multiple broad market indexes is a bear market. Okay. Do I think we could pull down 20% in the Qs? Only if we go much higher first. Like if the Qs get to like 170 and then we pull down to like 136, I could see that happening. We'll see. Thoughts on DRAD? Don't have any thoughts outside of technicals. Remember, if they have something fundamental in the pipeline, I'm not factoring that in. It looks like a bullish falling wedge. If this thing is going to remain bullish, it needs to hold above $2.29 tomorrow. And Starbucks long. You're seeing Starbucks long on the news. Let's see, Starbucks long on the news. Initiated with buy at Tigris Financial. Okay. I don't know who Tigris Financial is, but looks okay. I've been bearish on Starbucks for a while. Hasn't been performing well. So many new coffee shops. I mean, you have so many options now when it comes to good coffee. Starbucks coffee is average compared to some of these new coffee shops, in my opinion. Square, you think it looks bullish now? I mean, I wanna buy Square, Kathy. I just really wanted this damn support level to hit. I don't know if it will or will not hit. It's really hard to tell. Probably should have bought it near the lows on last Friday. Oh well, you might be right. Snap. Bullish. Support tomorrow 1454 on Snap. So I took 1,000 shares of Long Island iced tea. I see it's up, whatever, 15, 16 cents from where we bought it. We bought it near $4.03, $4.04, $4.05. I don't remember exactly what I paid offhand, but I like the pullback to the exponential 8. I'm hoping it bounces. I'm actually in BlackBerry, and I'm a little bit concerned about this BlackBerry here because I like the pullback to the 8 and it didn't bounce yet. I'm still in it. It's showing down a little after hours. We'll see what this one wants to do as well. In Caterpillar, Pablo, bullish. Stocks at all-time highs. Would need a dramatic pullback for me to want to get involved. And by that, I mean a move to 149.57. Doesn't it? It does sort of look like Strip or Straight Path Communications, if you guys remember that. But the difference is when, and I'm going to go back to the moment in times we're talking about Strip here or Straight Path. They're being bought out. Is they gap up, higher bid, higher bid, higher bid, lower bid. Then it just acted like absolutely insane. But the difference with that is, as far as we know, nobody wants to buy this company out yet, which would surprise me that nobody would want to own this technology, actually. Should be a buyout target. My thoughts on Molson Long. Um, it's bullish. If I'm buying it, $80.03 tomorrow. Thoughts on Costco? Bullish. If I'm buying it, 183.75 tomorrow. Roger, Intuitive Surgical, bearish. If I'm shorting it, 373.21. Ligand Pharmaceuticals just broke out today for the first time. Excellent look. Well, he's a photographer, ironically. He has an excellent look. Um, Breaking through descending resistance here looks great. I don't like that you failed the 50 moving average, but it looks awesome. Maybe we have to really break today's high tomorrow. That would add conviction. If you're looking for a pullback, 137.50 to 137.60 would be a good range for a potential entry. I think it looks good. S&P, I see support at the S&P 2654.45 tomorrow. Do I think it gets there? No, but that's my support. Wasn't I bullish on Snap yesterday? What happened since then? I am still bullish on Snap. Nothing has happened since then. I continue to be bullish on Snap. Okay. Wubo bounces above averages. Yeah. And it breaks above descending resistance. Like what you're watching here, Kathy. Great look as well. Looks very bullish. And Weibo. That one. Oh, you didn't mean to type that. Did I say that I'm more bearish than bullish on Overstock at this point? Short term? Yeah. Basically, by the end of the first week in January, I would expect this stock to be lower. I could see it drop to $62.50. That's exactly what I'm saying, Barbara. Okay. All right. So again, if you guys would like to copy, You can hit print screen now if you want my game plan and my Forex orders. I know I sort of shrank this a little. But again, especially for members in the room, show your appreciation to Dave. Go ahead and order something tonight. I'll be mentioning it again for one more day. Surround yourself with positive photography. I know I'm going to do so. And that's about it. So I'm very excited for the year ahead. I have a lot of work and prepping to do, including writing my year-end report, including setting up for the Facebook Live initiative, where I'm going to be bringing you guys much better quality videos than I am now, as well as just setting up for a myriad of different things. So I have a lot of stuff on my plate, a lot of work, a lot of ignoring my wife and family to bring you guys the best quality product as I know possible. I hope you guys enjoyed the NEWSBEAT nightly trading broadcast. Happy trading, make money, and we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. The NEWSBEAT live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful evening.